Pleasant evening to all our viewers, wherever you're joining this live broadcast from. I will be chatting with Commissioner of the Police Service Commission, Mr. Clinton Conway, who is also a retired Assistant Police Commissioner, who is currently also before the courts on an allegation of a multi-million-dollar fraud, charges instituted against him, Chairman Mr. Paul Slow, and other serving and retired cops by the Special Organized Crime Unit of the Guyana Police Force. My first question is the most recent development since this allegation of fraud has been leveled against you by the police. The Prime Minister asking you and Mr. Slow to show cause why you should not be removed from the Police Service Commission. What do you make of all this?
Okay. Thank you, Travis, for giving me an opportunity to be heard, because myself, Mr. Slow, and others, we are being tried on social media, and we will jump at any opportunity we got to give our side of the story. Let me give you a little background about this email that I received. Right. Monday night, sometime about 7 or thereabout, I received a telephone call, my cell phone, from one Mr. B. Cesar. I know him well. He's an assistant to the Prime Minister. Right. He told me that he has a letter from the Prime Minister to be delivered to me. I told him, look, I'm not doing any business tonight. Call me tomorrow morning and we talk. He called me on Tuesday morning and I asked him, what is the contents of the letter? He said he didn't know. So I said, man, you're an assistant to the Prime Minister. You're not no little ordinary office boy. Correct. Let me know what is the contents. He said he has to talk to the Prime Minister and he'll call me back. He called me back and I asked him about the letter. He said it's about the board you on. I said, which board? He said the Police Service Commission. I said, and what about it? He said he don't know. I said, well, if you don't know, when you see me, then you can solve the letter on me. Because he didn't know where I was living and he was trying to find out where I'm living. About an hour afterward, I received through my email a letter from the Prime Minister, Office of the Prime Minister, asking me to show cause why I should not be removed from the Police Service Commission based on the fact that I was charged for a criminal offense. I said orally in the press that the intention is, after we were given that trumped up charge, to destroy the Police Service Commission, particularly myself and Mr. Paul Slow, who is the chairman of the Service Commission. If I may backtrack a bit, go ahead. Senior Superintendent Faisal Karimbash, who is in charge of the Suku, was sanctioned by us, or let me put it this way, we were investigating an allegation against him, where 3 female police recruits alleged sexual harassment. Assistant Commissioner McBean, we delegated to investigate. He investigated and he recommended charges under the Police Discipline Act. We agree and we directed that Karimbash must be charged. He took us to court and about a month ago, the matter was dismissed. The judge says frivolous and vexatious.
So he will no longer be charged?
He will be proceeded against him. Okay. He took us to court saying we must not proceed with the charge. Okay. And the judge went against him.
Throughout his application?
Yes, throughout his application.
Very well.
So we will be proceeding. And let me go further. Right. And this is allegations. Correct. I know about allegations. There's allegation that I committed fraud. Right. Conspired with others to deprive the police force. There was an investigation conducted by a deputy commissioner against Karimbash, where, and I'm saying allegations, correct. Where 11 female trainees made allegations of sexual harassment against Karimbash. I saw the file, I read the file. The investigation was damning, but apparently that's what's gone under the swept under the carpet. Brutus we took disciplinary action against Brutus. He also took us to court. The matter is pending. I think sometime in June we have to answer. Mm-hmm. Brutus is at administration. Karimbash is at Suku. And I can say without fear of contradiction, matters relating to Suku does not go to the Commissioner of Police unless there's a file saying that a policeman must be charged. Mm-hmm. Suku do not report anything to the Commissioner in the investigation. That is an autonomous body, self-autonomous body. Mm-hmm. They do not. So we had Karimbash in court. We had Brutus in court. Karimbash might finish, Brutus matter is still pending. Mm-hmm. The position is put trumped-up charge against me and Paul Slow. And when you put this charge against me and Paul Slow, they will fight to remove us from the Police Service Commission. So there will be no Service Commission, and as a result, we can't do anything. Our term finishes in August, and then they will form a new Service Commission, which will be supportive of them, and they promote who they want to promote. They promote a lot of incompetence. They wake up Dr. Peter principle that you promote incompetence, and that's exactly what is happening. So get Conway and get Paul Slow out of the way, and they will do their own thing. But getting back to the letter from the Prime Minister. Right. The Constitution, Article 225, gives him the power that he can advise the President that it is his view or evidence he got that we should be removed. That's what he asks us to show. Because the President, in turn, will have to consult with the Judicial Service Commission, who will appoint a tribunal comprises of a chairman and at least two other judges who are serving or were former judges in the Commonwealth. They will do an inquiry, and based on the inquiry, they will advise the President whether or not to remove us. Mm-hmm. But surprisingly, there is no active Judicial Service Commission. So you're stretching us out again there. So we feel that to show cause, and our lawyers will vigorously defend us. We have no problem with that. Right. But to get me and Paul Slow out of the picture and destroy the Police Service Commission, which is a constitutional body.
But didn't the judge, as a matter of fact, I think it's the same Madam Roxanne George, ruled in a similar matter like this? When
they had two cases. Right. One when President Hoyt, or when Mr. Harmon, through President Granger, right, wrote the Service Commission and said that they must put on a halt to police promotion. The justice threw that case, says it's an independent body and nobody can. And they had a similar one too, where Minister, can't remember her name, she was Minister of Labor then, man, that female minister, right, wrote the Public Service Commission, right, and said they must put on a halt, Simon Bruce, right, and put on a halt to all the interviews they were conducting. Mm-hmm. And the judge ruled is completely out of order. So this way we are
back at square one.
Yes, back to square one.
So in essence, you can go ahead. You can put
no.
Right. So I'm concerned mainly about the Police Service Commission.
Yeah.
What is the process by which commissioners are appointed at the PSC?
There are nominations being made by one, the Police Association, the one where there are two elections in one day. Mm-hmm. The Police Association, the Police Officers Association, the Ex-Police Association, and any other body that appear to have they represent the interests of the police force, members of the police force. They will make the recommendation to the Parliament, and there's a select committee that will decide the person that they want to be on the Police Service Commission. And based on their recommendation, they will send it to the President for appointment of those persons. So those bodies, that same one where they're trying to, that they rig the election, I have no apologies for that. Mm-hmm. They want those people who they will set up and will put their own persons on the Police Service Commission so that they will be able to do their bidding for them.
Mm. If I can ask you off the bat, before I get to this allegation of fraud, has the promotion list for senior officers been completed?
No, it hasn't been completed. We had persons who were earmarked for promotions, but before that, I'm glad you raised it. Mm. According to the pleadings of Brutus, a confidential source within the Service Commission leaked it to him.
And he was not on that list?
No, he was not on that list. Hence, the action against us. We did not promote anybody. We were in an advanced state of discussion.
Right, because that list would have had to go to the commissioner.
Yes.
This allegation of fraud, Mr. Conway, $10 million allegation of fraud. I will ask you the same question that former Public Security Minister Kema Dramdachan asked. What is criminal about being paid to do a job?
There's nothing criminal. I don't want to comment too much because the matter is in the court. But I must say that we were engaged by the commissioner. He ordered to pay us a stipend, received the stipend, and that's it.
All right. So let us not
do that. We have our lawyers. I'm confident our lawyers will deal with
that. The term for that is sub judice.
I agree with that.
So you strongly believe that the aim of all this fracas that's going on is to topple the PSC?
Yes.
Current stance of the PSC?
Charge Conway, charge Paul Slow, and then apply for them to be removed from the Service Commission. So you'll have no Service Commission. The next one is due in August.
How are deputy police commissioners appointed?
Deputy commissioners and commissioners is a presidential appointment. I think it's Article 211 of the Constitution. All the president has to do is to consult with the leader of the opposition, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, who by then would have consulted with the other members, and make his appointment. He doesn't have to get agreement like is the appointment for Chancellor or Chief Justice. Consult with the Police Service, with the leader of the opposition, the Police Service Commission, and make the appointment. This is a presidential, whoever is the president, that is authority. And let me make the point too. I hear a lot of things, a lot of nonsense going about the place, that Deputy Commissioner Ops, Deputy Commissioner Admin. There are only two Deputy Commissioners in this Guyana Police Force, and that is Deputy Commissioner Happy and Deputy Commissioner Paul Williams. The rest are masquerading as Deputy Commissioner Admin, Deputy Commissioner Ops. They are aspirants. Maybe later on they might get a position, but there are only two Deputy Commissioners. And I repeat myself that it is the President who will make those appointments. And right now we have vacancy for a Commissioner of Police because Leslie demitted office on the 1st of May, and there are two other vacancies for Deputy Commissioners.
Mr. Your name has been slandered tremendously over the past couple of days. You're contemplating legal action?
I will not rest until I have justice. And I believe in the judicial service system in this country, that we will have our day in court and we will take action. Believe it or not, we will not rest. Action is going to come. Me and pass through. We are already in discussion with our lawyers. We're only waiting for the opportune time to take action. And as I said earlier, that we've been slandered across the world. I've been getting messages from America, from Canada, from England, from Australia, and don't talk about locally. People who know me, trumped up charge. Huh? But I love my day in court. We love our day in court.
Finally, Mr. Conway, do you think the current stance or the current position or how the Ghana police force is running right now, do you think it's good to protect himself?
The police, okay, let me put it this way. Dark clouds are hovering over police headquarters and they're moving to the various regional divisions. There's disunity in the police force. There's division. I can recall the pastor prayed for the police force, the ills, and Brutus knocked him off. The commissioner had to rescind that order. And it has manifested itself where you have 2 elections in one day. And that is a body that dealing from inspector, sergeants, corporal, constables. So you had it at the top, and there's now gone to ground zero to the bottom. Okay. There is disunity. I served 39 years on broken service in the police force. And I must admit, whether people believe it or not, I have tremendous contacts in the police force. I must say that. People who I train, people who I mentored from top to bottom, I train them, I mentor them, including Happy, including Hikim, including Brutus. You just name them. I train them and I mentor them. But there is division in the police force, and it's affecting the ranks from top to bottom. And the public doesn't have confidence in the police force. Therefore, the police force can't do well. Because if there is no public confidence in the police force, Travis, you have people with eyes who will not see. You have people with ears who will not hear. You have people with nose who will not smell. You have people with tongues who will not speak. Police don't be at the scene all the time. We want people to see, to hear, and come to the police and talk. But they won't do that because they don't have any public confidence in the police force. And this way we are.
Division in the police force to the extent that there's a fight for power?
Yes, power. Want to get to the top. All of them fighting to get to the top. Power. And it has gone right down to the constable level.
What do you recommend?
A whole lot of things. First, we must have a commissioner who can perform his duty without favor or affection, malice or ill will. And he must be able to perform to the best of his skill and knowledge. There mustn't be outside influence. There mustn't be political influence. Happy is my friend. Well, Happy is like a bystander. Happy can't do anything, and I know about that. When Happy do certain things, they run to the political boss, and he would change. And because Happy, and by the way, Happy is not acting commissioner.
He's performing the
duties. I saw the letter saying that James will proceed on leave, and Happy will perform the duties of the commission. He doesn't have any instrument. And those two who are masquerading as deputy commissioner, admin and deputy commissioner, ops, they are not deputy commissioners. They are not acting. As I said before, it's a presidential appointment, and he has not given anyone them the authority to act. So if you don't have a commissioner at the top who could stand up, who could take proper action, you want a commissioner maybe like Larry Lewis at this time, to take assertive action.
Are you telling me, Mr. Conway, that there is political influence in the police force?
Plenty. And we have some senior politicians in the police force. We also have some excellent men in the force, from top to bottom. We have plenty of them there, but we also have plenty who perform the duty with favor and affection, malice and ill will. And I make no apologies for saying so. I know I was there. and I'm still there from on the outside.
What is the current stance of the PSC right now? You're on a meeting,
We holding meetings. We holding meetings every month. We holding meetings, but we were barred from promoting anybody. The judge put a stop order on us. If it's lifted, we go ahead and do what we are. But we have meetings, we do name matters, but we cannot deal with promotions. And we obey in the law. We hope that that will clear up very shortly. So the next meeting is sometime in June, and we hope by then the judge will make a order. One way or the other, we'll abide by it.
If I could ask you a final question with regards to this letter that the Prime Minister sent you, you think he is stepping out of line by asking you to show cause?
He has the authority to write us and show cause. Yes, it's down in the Constitution. But I'm saying, you can't convict me on a trumped-up charge. It's an allegation. We weren't convicted. If we were convicted, sure, but we're not convicted. Allegation made against me, allegation made against Brutus, allegation made against Karimbash, and several others. You can't convict any. You can't take any action unless the person is convicted.
So his letter is premature?
Premature. And it's dated the day before we get charged. I don't want to. There are some other things in life that I wouldn't disclose at this forum.
Thank you.
And before that, let me use some words here.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the police force, I says, police is politics, is professionalism, and the Constitution. I repeat, police, politics, professionalism, and the Constitution. And I have no apology for saying that. And let me end up by saying, I have certain things recorded. Right. I know what's going to happen after this interview, this thing. I have certain things that are recorded, and they can be made available at a moment's notice. I don't boast with myself, but I'm a graduate from the FBI. I know other things, right? And that's all I need to say. I have recordings that anything would be released at a moment's notice. And I intend to talk more about the police force. I intend to talk about the youths.
We'll be meeting soon.
Yes.
Thank you,
and thank you very much for allowing me to have my say.
No problem. No problem.